Hello students, today we are going to study 4.3 of English, that is the World Heritage. Okay, before starting this lesson, I want to tell you all about the 7 wonders. You all must have heard about the 7 wonders of the world. Okay, all the 7 wonders of the world are the World Heritage. So here you all can see this chapter. We are going to study about the different places which are the World Heritage. Okay, so you all can just open to that chapter. It is page 159, World Heritage. World Heritage Site is determined by the UNESCO. Now what is the full form of UNESCO? United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, that is UNESCO. Now you all know students, we go to visit many beautiful places during the vacations. Inside the country also, that means within India also, and outside the country also, there are many beautiful tourist places. These beautiful tourist places are the World Heritage Sites. Okay, now these places can be World Heritage Site because of the beauty of that place. Okay, the uniqueness of the place. You can see there are so many beautiful temples in India. There are so many beautiful monuments in India which are included in a World Heritage. Apart from monuments and temples, you can see we also have lakes, buildings, then you can see cities, forest, mountains, which are also included in the World Heritage Sites. Now like mixed means it can be cultural also, it can be natural also, so both the sides. Okay, so here you can see they have in the textbook they have given the example of Mount Yusan in China, which is a significance of human culture, and as well as it is very important from the historical point of view also. So it is coming under both. It is called as mixed. Okay, mixed heritage site, you can see. Then World Heritage, history of World Heritage Site. Now let's see how this World Heritage actually started in the world. Okay, now in the year 1954 in Egypt. Okay, you all know in Egypt there is the famous river Nile. Okay, and it is one of the longest rivers in the world. So it has lot of water. So the government of Egypt planned to make a dam, okay, on the river Nile. You all must have heard the name also Aswan Dam. Okay, so they planned to make the Aswan Dam. Okay, but there was one problem. If they make a dam on such a huge if they make dam on such a huge river, then what will happen? They can make the dam, but if there is like during the flood time, lot of water will get collected in the rainy season, and if they open the doors of the dam, what will happen? Near the dam there were a lot of temples and monuments and other artifacts. Artifacts means, you can see the meaning is given, objects made by human beings. That means there were a lot of beautiful things made by the people which will get destroyed in the flood water, flood of the dam water. So now they did not want to destroy all these beautiful things. So what they decided, we will dismantle all these things. Dismantle all these things means example, like movement, you can shift that place. You'll know how suppose we are going to a new house, we shift all the things from the new house and we carry it to the other place and we settle them. So same way they thought, when we make a dam, we will shift all these beautiful things and beautiful artifacts which were made by the human beings, and we will shift all these things to the other place. But the shifting will require a lot of money. See, during the changing of the house, when we shift the house, lot of money we give for shifting. Okay, so same way they required lot of money, and lot of money means how much money? In the textbook they have given 80 million US dollars. Okay, so that amount was too much. So then they started asking help from the other countries, and the response was so good they got 40 million US dollars from 50 different countries. That means 50 different countries helped them with the money. Countries helped them. The government of the different countries gave them money. And how much money they got? They got 40 million US dollars. That means they wanted 80 and they got 40. That means half of the expense they got. Now half of the expense they can put from their own country. So it became very easy, okay, for shifting. So that time the people, UNESCO decided this is a very good way to collect money to preserve the world heritage around the world. All over the world, you all know, students, there are so many beautiful tourist places. There are beautiful monuments, architectures, there are beautiful places, naturally, as I told you, culturally, historically. So they thought, the UNESCO thought, this is a very good way to save all this. Okay, you all know some were made in the 1st century, 7th century, 5th century. They are so old, 500, 600 years old monuments are there. So they thought, if we want to protect and preserve these places, we need lot of money. And if we make something like some committee or organization, they can collect money from this. And they can give the money to the places which are like under danger, which need renovation and all that. So with that in mind, they started one trust. And what was the trust name? In 1965, they started a trust. The trust name was World Heritage Trust. Okay. Now the World Heritage Trust was made to support the countries to keep their the tourist places, the historical monuments and all safe. Okay. So it was like they used to call meetings, they used to collect money. Further I will tell you, November 16, General Conference was held, November 16, 1972. So here you can see, this is how they started the World Heritage Trust. Okay. Then, now the World Heritage Committee is main group is responsible for establishing the site of the UNESCO. Okay, the World Heritage Site. Now let's see, they started this group, okay, the trust. They used to meet once in a year. Okay, there were 21 state parties that were elected in the group, and they have a term of 6 years. That means the group was made for 6 years, means the members, they can remain in the group for 6 years. And after 6 years, a new set of members will be elected. You all know, students, how we have election. 5 years a government rules, then after that we keep the election, new members are elected. Okay, same way they kept. The members can remain in the term for 6 years. After 6 years, again elections will be there and new members will be selected. And they used to meet once in a year for you can say for identifying and nominating new sites. What was the work of these members? The work of the members was to nominate different places, make a list, all the heritage places in the world, okay, and nominate in the list. That was their main work. Now you can see becoming a World Heritage Site. Suppose in India there is a beautiful place and that place has to come in the World Heritage Site. So how it can come in the World Heritage Site? There are 5 steps. Now let's see what are the 5 steps. First, they will make a tentative list. Tentative list means first the World Heritage Site Committee will make a tentative list, that is the rough list. Okay, in that they will write all the countries' heritage site places names. Okay, whether it is cultural, whether it is natural or mixed, historical, they will make a list of that. Second step is they will make a fair list. How they will make a fair list? First they will see this place is genuine or no. This place has to come in the, any place they will not select, na? Any place they cannot select. First they will see this place has maximum visitors or no. Is it good or no? It is worth to keep in the World Heritage Site or no. They will see all that and they will make a fair list. Then the third step is advisory committee. There was a advisory committee, and this advisory committee, they see the review, means whatever the rough list and fair list which is made, it is correct or no. Okay, they will see all the information, whether this place is no, proper to be kept in the World Heritage list or no. Okay, so that is the work of the that is the third step, the work of the advisory committee. Then comes the fourth step. Fourth step is the review and recommendation. They will see whether this place is proper or no. Okay, this place has to be included or no. Okay, all these things, na, like they will visit the place, they will see the condition, whether it can be included or no. Okay, all that. And the fifth step, that is the last step. In the fifth step, they will see like out of 10, at least one quality, means they have kept certain points. Okay, then if the World Heritage Site has at least one point, has at least one quality, then only they will include it in the list. Okay, then that way the 5 steps are there. First is rough list, then is fair list, third is the advisory committee, fourth is the review and recommendation of the advisory committee, and fifth is the like out of 10 qualities, the World Heritage Site should have at least one quality, then only it will be included in the World Heritage Site. Okay, then let's see types of World Heritage Sites. Types of World Heritage Sites means, let's see, in the year 2009, all over the world, there were 890 World Heritage Sites. How many? There were 890 World Heritage Sites in the year 2009. And in how many countries it was located? 148 countries. That means from the 148 countries, they removed 890 World Heritage Sites. Out of these, you can see 689 sites were cultural. Okay, and 176 were natural. Okay, so 25 of the World Heritage Sites were mixed. I hope you all understood. From 148 country, they removed 890 World Heritage. From that, 689 were cultural, 176 were natural, and 25 World Heritage Sites were mixed. Mixed means both cultural and natural. Okay, some of the national parks are also included in the World Heritage Site. So you can imagine that must be so beautiful. Okay, then the highest, which country had the highest World Heritage Site? That is Italy. Italy had the highest World Heritage Site. How much? 44 World Heritage Sites itself in Italy. Okay, then India has 36. India has 36 World Heritage Sites, 36 places or 36 you can see monuments, artifacts and other things which are included in the World Heritage Sites. Out of that, from the 36, 28 is cultural, 7 is natural and 1 is mixed. Okay, now this you all understood. Now the whole world is divided into 5 zones, into 5 geographical zones by the UNESCO. Let's see what are the 5 zones. Africa, Arab states, Asia, Pacific including Australia and Oceania, then Europe and North America, Latin America and Caribbean. So these are the places which are like 5 zones separated by the UNESCO. Now let's see World Heritage Sites in danger. Okay, now the students sometimes see there can be fire, flood. Okay, in our houses also there can be like sometime fire can break out or there can be flood when our properties are destroyed. Same way a natural heritage sites can be destroyed because of fire, because of flood, because of war. You know, during the war, other countries when they attack, they throw missiles and all on the beautiful places to destroy, or to take the revenge or to destroy the beautiful places. Then there is poaching. Poaching means the smuggling and all. Okay, they destroy the beautiful places and they carry away all the good things. You know, India during the Britishers time and before the Britishers time, in the Mughal period, so many times India was like plundered. Plundered means looted. The people from other countries came and they took away so many beautiful things from our temple, so many beautiful you can say artifacts, the idols which were made. You all know, even we say na, the diamond of India, the Kohinoor, which belong to India, is in other country now. So this way so many things were just plundered or looted or taken away. So this kind of things can happen. Then natural disaster, flood can happen, or you can say earthquakes, or you can say man-made disasters can also happen, like air pollution. Many years back, you all know, Taj Mahal is one of the beautiful places in India. And Taj Mahal is made of white marble, but many years back, because of the pollution, the locality of that area started getting acid rain, and because of the acid rain, you can see small tiny holes had started taking place in the marble, and even the color of the marble, white color of the marble, started changing to yellowish and pinkish color because of the pollution. Okay, then like there was problem, like they will remove the country's name, the Taj Mahal's name from the list of the tourist World Heritage Site. Then many people had started a petition, many people signed the petition, and all over the world the people said no, this place has to remain in the World Heritage Site. So still it is there in the 7 wonders, it is included in the 7 wonders. Okay, so here you can see, this way if any country is facing any problem, so what UNESCO will do, they will collect the money. You'll know, when we visit to certain places, when we go to certain tourist places, we pay money, entry charge, we give entry fees, maybe 25 rupees, 50 rupees or 100 rupees to go inside and see the beautiful places. So that charges, and the different countries of the world, they will give whatever fund they are giving in the UNESCO, that money they use to protect these places. Sometimes the walls are like walls are about to collapse because they were made in the like many years back, 400 to 500 years back. So maintaining and keeping all these places beautiful and intact is also important. So they give the money, this UNESCO give money for renovation, for keeping these places beautiful. So all the tourist money is used, plus UNESCO's trust fund is used to keep all these beautiful places intact. Okay, then you can see, then only, okay, these places will remain in the World Heritage Site list. Suppose if the place is not in a proper condition, it is about to fall, there is a lot of danger now of that place to be destroyed, then they will remove that place from the World Heritage Site. Okay, so these are the things. So World Heritage Site plays a very important role in keeping all the beautiful places as we see it today. Okay, because they were made so many centuries back, and even today they are standing there, okay, beautifully. There are so many carvings and beautiful, in India only we have so many beautiful temples, monuments, caves, carvings, national parks, and so many beautiful places we have. So many mountains, landscapes, rivers, forest areas, these are so beautiful. Okay, so many times we go and we destroy. As tourists, we visit these places and we destroy. So many times people write on the wall, they scribble with some nail or something, pointed things, they scribble and they make these places dirty or they spoil. So we should never do all this kind of things. From so many years it is there, 400, 500 years, and still it will continue to stand that way if we keep it properly. So it is our basic responsibility as citizens to keep all the natural or the World Heritage Sites, all these beautiful places, the way it has to be. Okay, that is our responsibility, so that our future generation can also see the beautiful things made by our ancestors. So I hope you all understood this chapter. If you all want to get more information about the World Heritage Site, then you can visit the website, that is the whc.unesco.org. So you can visit this website and you can see the beautiful World Heritage Sites. Okay, and you can get more information. I hope you all understood this chapter. Thank you, students.